theyeshiva.net.
Okay, let's begin. Daf Dalet Amud Aleph, 4 lines from the bottom. Ela shakfarim magdimin liyoim haknisa. So tune in. We have to recall here, this is a new piece of Gemarah on the next piece of the Mishnah. Let's recall the opening of Masechta Megillah, the first Mishnah. The Mishnah began that a Megillah could be read on one of 5 days. Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Dalet, and Tesvav Adar. Not before and not later. What's the rule? The rule is cities that are fortified with a wall from the days of Yeshua, they read it on Tesvav. And villages and cities, large cities, small cities, villages, towns that are not fortified from the days of Yeshua, even if they have a wall, but not from the days of Yeshua ben Nun, they read on Yud Dalet. So that covers 2 dates, Yud Dalet and Tesvav, which is what we do till today. We read on Yud Dalet, right? If you're in Yerushalayim, for example, which is Mukaf Chaim, you're going to read the Megillah on Tesvav. That's the first clause of the Mishnah. But then the Mishnah continued, what about Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel? So the Mishnah continued, and that's where this Gemarah continues. Ela shakfarim magdimin liyom haknisa. If you lived in a village, you had an option, and the option was to read the Megillah early. When early? Yom haknisa. Yom haknisa means the day that you were anyway going into the city, the larger city, where there are minyanim, regular minyanim, asara batlanim. So magdimin liyom haknisa, they can do the Megillah early. They have an option to read the Megillah liyom haknisa, the day that they go into the city. They're gathered in the city, which is when? Mondays and Thursdays was the regular routine was that Jews of villages would enter and travel into the larger cities, of course, by the means of transportation that they had during the time of the Mishnah. This is a couple of years before Henry Ford. And they would travel, whether it was a long walk, whether it was a camel, whether it was a donkey, whether it was a coach, a horse, etc. B'meila, when they're coming in Monday and Thursday, why are they coming in Monday and Thursday? Rashi says because that's when the courts would sit, Bezdin would sit Monday and Thursday, so all disputes, and people had disputes, would be dealt with. Other Rishonim say Kriyas HaTorah Monday and Thursday. So the Chachamim said you could read the Megillah then, the Monday and Thursday before Yud Dalet. Right? That's what the Mishnah said. Before Magdim Aliyah Maknisa. That's it. And then the Mishnah went through the calendar, went through the week to illustrate Ketzad, and the Mishnah goes through it. What was the first thing the Mishnah said? If Yud Dalet is on Monday, it started with Monday. If Yud Dalet is on Monday, then we know everyone does Yud Dalet because it's a Monday. So if it's a Monday, you're coming in anyway. So you could have the cake and eat it too. What if Purim, if Yud Dalet is Tuesday? So everybody does it on Tuesday, but the villagers do it on Monday, which is Yud Gimel. What if Purim is on Wednesday, Yud Dalet is on Wednesday? So everybody does it on Wednesday, but the villagers do it on Monday, which would be Yud Beis. What if Purim is on Thursday, Yud Dalet is on Thursday? Everybody does it on Thursday because it's a Thursday. You don't have to do it on Monday, you can do it on Thursday. Wonderful, there's unity by Klal Yisrael. What happens if Purim is on a Friday? Everybody does it on Friday, but in the village, you do it on Thursday, which would be Yud Gimel. So remember, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and tune in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're living in a village, either you did it on Yud Dalet, if it was Monday or Thursday, or you did it on Yud Beis, if Purim was Wednesday, or you did it on Yud Gimel, if Purim was Tuesday or Friday. Thank you. What if Purim is on Shabbos, meaning Yud Dalet is on Shabbos? Oh, everybody now has a problem, because you can't read the Megillah on Shabbos. So what happens now? What did the Mishnah say? That if it's on Shabbos, so then we know that in the villages you do it on Thursday, meaning you do it on Yud Beis, right? Because you can't do it on Friday. They're not coming into the city on Friday. But as the Mishnah put it, who else does it on Thursday? The regular cities who can't do it on Shabbos, either they already go back to Thursday. They do it together with the villagers on Thursday. Meaning they do it when? On Yud Beis. Of course, if you live in a fortified city, you're good because you can do it on Sunday. What happens if Purim is on Sunday? Oh, this is the end, because we started Monday, so we went a full circle from Monday till Sunday. If you're living in a city, you do it on Sunday, but if you're living in a village, when do you do it? On Thursday. Which day is that? Yud Aleph. That's the only scenario where the Megillah is read so far behind Yud Aleph, because if Yud Dalet is Sunday, so Shabbos is Yud Gimel, Friday is Yud Beis, and Thursday is Yud Aleph. That's finally the scenario when they read the Megillah on Yud Aleph Adar. Purim is on Sunday. They can do it Monday because you never do it later. You always do it earlier, and therefore they have to go back to Thursday. And when we say I have to, they don't have to. They could. If they want to come in on Sunday, Pajalas, the Gesundheit, wonderful. But we don't make you come in on Sunday. We say you're coming in anyway Monday and Thursday. We want to make life easier so you don't have to schlep again a second. It wasn't easy to come into the city. It wasn't just you ran into your car and it was a 15-minute drive. It was an avodah. It was hard work. And therefore, we protect them. We want to help them. And we say you have a special Megillah reading opportunity when you're coming in anyway. So you could then go to the minyan and do the Megillah in Shul in the morning on Monday or Thursday. That was the Mishnah. First, the Gemarah discussed the first part of the Mishnah, and now the Gemarah gets to this part of the Mishnah. What do you want to ask? If Purim is on Shabbos, so everybody did 2 days back, Thursday. You want to know why? Why don't the regular cities do Friday? Okay, good question. Why do the regular cities have to go back 2 days? That's your question, right? Excellent question. Why don't they just do it? Why don't they just do it on Friday? The Chachamim said, since they're anyway going out of their comfort zone, so let them already go back to Thursday, not on Friday. You know, they should do it together. In other words, since you're anyway not doing it on time, so let's already do it together. It's always nicer when it's together, right? If you were doing it on time, you can't do it together. It's like I'm in Chutzlords, I'm making a second Seder. I have to make a second Seder. I'm not in Eretz Yisrael. But if you're anyway not doing it on time, so already do it together with me. So everybody does it on Thursday. The villagers come to the cities on Thursday, and they do the Megillah. But if Yud Dalet is on Friday, then the people in the city could do it on Friday. So they could do it on time. So they do it on Friday. And then what happens? And then the people in the villages do it on Thursday. The people in the fortified cities, they can't do it on Shabbos because it's Tesvav and you can't read the Megillah, so they do it on Friday also. Now, you don't put them on Thursday. Why? Because why should you put them with the villagers when you could put them with the cities? You understand? When Tesvav is on Shabbos, then the people in the fortified cities read the Megillah when? On Friday, not on Thursday. Why? When your Dalet is on Shabbos, everybody reads on Thursday. Because why not unite the Jewish people to read on Thursday? But when Tesvav is on Shabbos, the people of the regular cities are reading it on Friday. So why should you ask the Jews in the fortified cities to read it on Thursday with the Jews of the village when they can read it on Friday with the Jews of the cities? That's the logic. But Shabbos, you can't read the Megillah. So they have to go backwards. So they go back 1 day, not 2 days. When you're in a regular city, you go back 2 days because that way they'll unite. But when you're in a fortified city, you're going back 1 day, you'll unite with much more Jews than going back 2 days because more Jews live in the larger cities than the little villages. First days? Okay. Zog the Gemarah, it's clear. Reb Shalom klar. Amar Reb Chanina says, Chachamim heikilu al akforim liyas magdim liyam aknisa kadei sheyisapku mayim amazon lachem shebekroch. The sages were lenient with the Jews in villages that they can read the Megillah before Purim on Monday or Thursday. Why? So that on Purim they should have free time to be able to provide water and food to their brothers who live in the larger cities. The Jews in the villages were usually involved in agriculture. Agriculture is, of course, the source of nutrition, the source of food. They usually were in the job, they were in the work, their vocation was providing Jews in cities with food, grain, and water. As a result of that, they wanted that on Purim, which is Yud Dalet, they should have a free day. If you would make them come to the city to read the Megillah, that takes up time. You have to travel, there's reading the Megillah, there's traveling back, etc. In order for them to have Yudalit free, so they allowed them that if on Yudalit they're coming to the city anyway, if it's a Monday or a Thursday, fine. But since they're not coming to the city anyway, because it's not Monday or Thursday, for Bezdin or for Kriyas HaTorah, so read the Megillah earlier, and then Yudalit, they can bring food to their brothers. And this is a benefit, of course, for them, for their economic situation, but it's also a benefit primarily for the Jews in the cities, because they all want to have a Sudas Purim, and there was no extra food that was just, people just had food. Food was very, very precious. It's hard for us to understand. For their Suda of Purim, they need food, they need water. So they get them Yudalit, they could bring food to their brothers in the Krach. Huh? Well, it's just a much more stressful time. It'll be much more stressful. Yeah, you have to go and bring and this. Huh? You can't just call an Uber to deliver the food. You have to realize. Frag the Gemarah Lameimra that Hakante the Krochen have. Really? Is this what Reb Chanina said? It's all because we're looking out for the Jews in the cities, in the larger cities. They should be able to have food for Purim. 1 second. This doesn't add up. Vatnan, we learned in our Mishnah, Choli is b'sheni, Kfarim b'yardik z'doilis, Kairim b'yayim. If Yudalit Adar is on Monday, they all read on that day, because it's Monday. But if it's true that it's for the benefit of the people in the city, so 1 second. Even if Purim is on Monday, they shouldn't read the Megillah then. Because if Purim is on Monday, who's going to suffer? The Jews in the cities, because I'm coming into the city from the village, I'm busy with the Megillah, you're not going to get your food. Or at least half the people won't get their food, because I'm busy, I'm stressed, I have to schlep to the Megillah, I have to go here, I have to go there. So even if your Dalit Adar is on Monday, Likdamu, if it's true, Likdamu, Liyom HaKnisa, they should do it on Thursday. In other words, even if your Dalit Adar is on Monday, they should do it on Thursday. If the whole reason for this is what? Not you're telling me you don't want to make them come twice. You're telling me so that the Jews in the cities should have food for Purim. That's why we want to give those Jews who are busy with this vocation, we want to give them a free day. So if the mazel is that your Dalit is on Monday, so now they lose. If your Dalit is on Tuesday, Baruch Hashem, they're open. Your Dalit is on Monday, so now they're stuck. They can't, they don't have the time to do everything. They're busy, yeah.
Sunday's a kindness, but what's... They come in Monday. They're coming in Monday anyway, right?
They're coming in Monday. Usually they came in Monday and Thursday. So Rabbi Chanina said the reason for this entire issue was that you wanted to give them off on your Dalit. That was the issue. Now you have to decide which days you're going to do it. So they're going to do it the days that are coming in anyway. Fine, I understand that. But it comes out that whenever Purim is on Monday, so then the whole issue is canceled. Let them do Megillah on Thursday, and Purim, they're open, they're free, they can give them food. That was your point. So the Gemarah says, no, Havalahu Hasara. If your Dalit is on Monday, so Thursday is 10, Yud Adar. V'asara lo tkinu Rabbanan. On day 10, there's no dispensation to read the Megillah. You can also tell them to read the Megillah on Chanukah. I mean, do it on Rosh Hashanah. You can't just read the Megillah on Yud Adar. We learned in the Gemarah earlier that the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah were the ones who gave permission to read the Megillah before Purim. We learned it from the Pasuk, L'kayim esimei Purim ha'ela bizmanehem. There are many times for the Megillah. But the limit was, there's 2 days explicit, Yud Aleph and Tesvav, and there's 2 days you can go till Yud Aleph and Yud Beis. Yud Gimel, we learned it's Man Kehillah. You can't go back. So Yud is not an option. So therefore they couldn't do it. They couldn't give them the Thursday before. We explained, the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah didn't give dates. The Anshe Knesset HaGedolah said you could read the Megillah a few days earlier, right? As needed. If there's an issue, if there's a problem, you don't have to come and do it on your Dalit. The Chachamim were the ones who created the order, the structure that we discussed. It should be on Monday, it should be on Thursday, but there's a limit. The Anshe Knesset HaGedolah's limit was not before Yud Aleph. If it's not before Yud Aleph, they can't just give you the Thursday before. So therefore, they have to do it on Monday. So the Gemarah said, why didn't the Chachamim give them the Thursday? So the answer is, they were also limited. They're confined by the dates. So the Gemarah says, okay, fine, Zol Zayin. So there's basically no choice. Yeah, you're right. It's a nice thing to go Thursday before, but we have no choice. But when we do have a choice, we're going to make life easier. That's the point. Yeah, you're right. If Purim is Monday, it's going to be a little bit of I don't want to call it a stressful day, because Purim shouldn't be a stressful day, even though it is for many people with Shalach Manas. It's very stressful. But it's going to be a busier day, let's put it that way. In life, you have to learn. It's a hard thing. How do you differentiate between being busy and becoming stressed? It's not so easy, right? So some people, for them not to be stressed, they have to have no responsibilities. How could you be very busy and still not be stressed? It's Agansiar Purim. If we're drinking on Purim because of stress, it's bad news. Oh. You have to be fully in the moment. If you're fully in the moment, so the Gemarah, yeah, the stress is not coming from the fact that you have responsibility. Stress is coming from an inner voice that's telling you how inadequate you are. That's usually the case. Okay, but we're not doing psychoanalysis right now. We'll get to that. Tashma, come in here. What did the Mishnah say? Choli is b'chamish. If you dalit other is on Thursday, kfarim vayaris doilis kairim by bayayim. Everybody reads that day, even the villages. Wait. The if Reb Chanina was right. Likdim u'liyayim aknisa. Let them do it Monday. Da'achat asarhu. If you dalit is on Thursday, Wednesday is Yud Gimel, Tuesday is Yud Beis, Monday is Yud Aleph. Let them do it Monday. Here they do have an opportunity to help the situation. They didn't say that. They said to do it on Thursday. What do we see from here? That this whole idea is something not adding up. Here you have an opportunity for them to read the Megillah on Monday. It's making life easier. Your Daled, they'll be able to be open, but you're telling them to read it on your Daled Dafka. They can't do it on the Monday before. Why? Because Purim is on your Daled and it's Thursday. Wonderful. Something is not adding up. The Gemarah says, no, he still didn't refute us. We don't postpone reading the Megillah from one Yom HaKnissa. Yom HaKnissa means the day that they come into the city, to another Yom HaKnissa. That we do not do. Since Yud Daled Adar is on Yom HaKnissa, which is Thursday, we'll go back Wednesday. We will do it on Thursday. We'll not go back to Monday. If it's Wednesday or Tuesday, you can go back to Monday. If it's Friday, Shabbos, or Sunday, you can go back to Thursday. I got no problem. But if it's on a Thursday, we don't go back to another Monday. The Gemarah doesn't explain what's the logic in Yom. Why not? Why not? No, the Chachamim felt that this would be the wrong thing, to go from Thursday to Monday. They'll go from Wednesday and Tuesday to Monday. They'll go Friday, Shabbos, Sunday back to Thursday, but not from a Thursday to a Monday. From a Yom HaKnissa, we're not going to go to another Yom, even though the dates work. Because it's going to be Yud Aleph. It's not going to be a problem in terms of dates. In the previous scenario, the problem was the date. To go from Monday to Thursday, you're going to Yud Adar. But to go from Thursday to Monday, you're good. Yud Dalet, Yud Gimel, Yud Beis, and Monday is Yud Aleph. That works. But here, that's why the Gemarah has to introduce a new idea. What's the logic in this? What's the logic? The Gemarah doesn't say. But the Meiri,
It's clear with no reason for the extra days. Because there was such a thing with that.
I got it. But if Reb Chanina is correct, that we're trying to help Jews get food for Purim, and that's why we want their brethren in the villages to have a free Purim. They wake up in the morning, 6 o'clock, all they think about is food. Let's deliver the food. I don't have to run chapping minyanim, pushing in shul, right? Getting the kids out of the house, Megillah. I don't have what to wear. I don't have what to wear, etc. So go shopping, but I don't have what to wear in order to go shopping, etc.
Well, it says Yud Dalet. You cannot do Yud Dalet because it's not Thursday or different day. Then you do different days. So the logic is, you have to have Purim on Yud Dalet. Period. So if Yud Dalet you don't have a group of people to read the Megillah, so you do it on a different day where you have a group of people. But here Yud Dalet has a group of people. So you cannot postpone to begin with. Because the original day is Yud Dalit.
All idea of
That says it's not only
on a
food.
different day, Monday and Thursday.
Not
Same
only-
scenario.
That's what I don't know.
That's why I push it back.
You can't deliver food.
It's not
on
only
this
the
one
food.
weekend.
It's not all about the food, Zaksta. You mean all of Judaism is not about food? Okay, I'm glad to hear. You could have fooled me.
So why not? Come Thursday.
We have plenty of full time to do Christmas.
No, all I,
and this
What's your question?
What's Thursday, Monday, and Thursday?
Right.
If you're preparing Thursday for Wednesday, so I think there's Sunday for Monday.
they were coming Thursday for Monday, because I'm Thursday too. Why push it back? The whole idea is why they want them to give food, so they do it a different day. They don't want to do it the same day as
No, if I had a court case, I had to come to the court case, irrelevant of my business.
It's just Thursday, Monday.
Right.
You have the day to prepare either way.
What are you asking on? Which halacha are you asking on? I don't understand. Are you asking on the Mishnah?
No, what's the whole reason? I'm asking why why there's a logic behind that.
So let me tell you what the Meiri says. The Meiri says that the logic is, he says, there's an expression in Gemarah that the Chachamim always tried to keep a rhythm in halacha, for the ability for people to see it in a structured way and an organized way. They didn't want to, the Gemarah has an expression, litein divreihem l'shiurim, meaning fragmenting their words, different sizes for different people, because it gets confusing. When your dalit is on Monday, they can't go to the previous Yom HaKnisa. Why can't they go to the previous Yom HaKnisa? Because it's Yud Adar, so it's not worthy. So you do it by Yom. So therefore, they said, so from one Yom HaKnisa to another Yom HaKnisa won't work if it's Monday to Thursday. So therefore, they also said the second Yom HaKnisa should not work, which is from Thursday to Monday. So there will be a uniform halacha, that if Purim is on Yom HaKnisa, we stick to that day. If Purim is on another day and we're anyway changing, now it's fine, because that's consistently. You'll always go backwards till you hit your Thursday, till you hit your Monday. But just like they couldn't make from Monday to go back to Thursday, Yom HaKnisa, so the second Yom HaKnisa, they kept in that framework. Yom HaKnisa is Yom HaKnisa. So there's a consistent tradition that is uniform. That's how the Meiri understands this Gemarah, and therefore they will not go back from Thursday to Monday, despite the fact that it would have been easier in the sense that Purim would be free. The Gemarah says, no. We're not done yet. Toshma. You answer the questions, but there's another Mishnah on Daf Hey. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Monsey, this whole halacha works. If they're anyway going into the city on Monday or Thursday, so then it makes life easier. But there are villages who are not going in on Monday and Thursday. Maybe they don't have any disputes. They get along very nicely. They're wonderful people. They're sweet people. It's working. They're not running to the city on Monday or Thursday. So then the whole halacha is canceled, because it's not like they're coming in Monday and then you're forcing them to come back Tuesday and then Wednesday. Yeah, so twice a week. It's very hard. It's very difficult. But they're anyway not coming in Monday and Thursday. So what's the problem? So Purim, they'll come in to read the Megillah. Yeah. That's what they do. They're Jews. You celebrate Purim. It's called a holiday. That's what you do. If Purim is on Tuesdays, I would come in Monday and then again Tuesday. It's very hard for people. The Chachamim wanted to make life easier. But here, you're not making life easier because they're not coming in anyway. So why not just celebrate Purim with the rest of Klal Yisrael? Why give them a separate day when it's not making a change? That's Rabbi Yehuda's logic. Makes a lot of sense, right? Which is the reason why, by the way, this halach is gone. Nobody reads the Megillah anymore, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel. Why? Because we don't have the scenario. It's not like you have Jews in Montana who are going and traveling to a big city on Monday and Thursday, and Purim, we don't have the scenario today. So already in days of yore, this was not relevant anymore. This is the idea. Today, everybody reads the Megillah on Yud Dalet or on Tosfos. Clear. But if you really believe that this whole dispensation is in order for the Jews in the big cities to have food on Purim, so just because in the villages you don't go in on Monday and Thursday, therefore you're going to ruin it for all the Jews in the big cities. They won't be able to prepare their meal for Purim. the way it is, because basically Rabbi Yehuda is basically telling us that in some situations, this whole halacha is canceled. And what happens? Everybody reads the Megillah on your Dalet, which basically means you just showed that you're not really thinking about the Jews in the cities, because in these situations, they're never free on your Dalet. It's not like sometimes, they're never free on your Dalet. Doesn't this demonstrate that this has nothing, or at least it's not completely connected with the Jews living in the cities having their meal? Because in this scenario, basically, they're always doing a Yadalit. Why? But even if they don't come in, give them their own Purim. Let's say they don't come in on Monday and Thursday. Let them come in for the Megillah. Let them come in for the Megillah, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, so Yud Dalet, they'll be free. But you never do that. Rabbi Yehuda says, cancel that luck, it's over. So this means that it's not about that, or it's at least not completely about that, even if it's a side benefit. Rabbi Yehuda is not going against the Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda, first of all, Rabbi Yehuda is a Tana, but Rabbi Yehuda is identifying the takana of the Chachamim. Rabbi Yehuda is just saying there's a rhythm to this takana. It's not a decree that you have to do it, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, or that you're allowed to. It's based on the idea that you're coming in. If you're not coming in, they never made this takana. He's not nullifying the takana. He's just saying it's not applicable. The Rambam asks a question, how do you say that now there's no mitzvah to kill Amalek? Yeah, in Sefer HaMitzvahs. Every mitzvah in Torah is eternal. One of the 13 principles of faith is HaTorah Hazois Lo Tiheh Muchlefes. So the Rambam says it's not that we're nullifying the mitzvah. The circumstances are not here. If the circumstances are not here, why don't we bring a carbon tamid this morning? It's a mitzvah. You never cancel a mitzvah. The answer is, I need a mizbeach. I need a mizbeach. I need a Beis HaMikdash. I need pure kayanim, and then I have a mitzvah. I don't have the circumstances to make me do the mitzvah. You understand? That's what he's saying. Today you have to kill the Amalek inside. I don't mean you. I mean inside of me. You have to kill your own, I have to kill my own. We're good at killing other people's Yetzaharas. You know what the Baal Shem Tov once said? It says in Pirkei Avos, Ezo Gibber HaKovish Es Yitzroi. Who is a powerful person, one who conquers Yetzer? He says, it should have said HaKovish Es HaYetzer. Or Kovish Es Yitzroi. He says, no, HaKovish Es Yitzroi. It's very easy for me to conquer your Yetzahara. Yeah, this guy's an addict, he's a law. Kovish Es Yitzroi, that Yetzahara. Everybody conquers the other person's Yetzahara. When we learned Pesachim, I told you about, I think from Rabbi Aaron Karlina, he said, the first Mishnah says, what's it? Oila basa, beitkaz chametz leir haner, kol makam she'ein machnisim by chametz, ein tzarich b'dika. Right? Place where you don't bring in chametz, you don't have to do b'dikas chametz. So he says, what does that mean? He says, you b'dik where you bring in chametz. Where other people bring in chametz, let them be b'dik. I'll call upon him. So b'meila, this is disproven.
It's talking about a very big or a small exception. Talking about people that are not interested to come.
Not interested. They just don't. It's just not part of their.
Whatever the reason.
Yeah.
Most of the people want to come.
Why do you want to come in on Monday and Thursday?
That's the only way for me to read some Megillah in a big city. Because there will be union there. And,
No. We're talking about places where on a regular week, forget Purim, on a regular week, they don't have this idea of coming to the city. They just don't come to the city. It's not part of their routine. You know there's something called Sunday Costco shopping? Do you have the schus to do that? Okay, so it's not part of your routine. So imagine every Sunday we go to Costco, right? We go to the big trip to Costco, a very big attraction for Jewish families, Sunday afternoon. Okay? Keeps them out of the house, keeps the husband harnessed, etc., right? Great outlet, yes. Just try it. You buy quinoa there, and you buy seltzer, etc. It's a wonderful experience. You meet your friends, you socialize, and then it just doesn't count for spending time with your wife because it has to be private and alone, and you have to be calm. But the point is, there's an outing. So now imagine, lahavdil, the Chachamim say, okay, you're going Sunday, every Sunday there. Let's put the Megillah there so you don't have to do a double trip. Fine. But what if you don't have this minig of going there? So then just do it in the right time. You anyway have to schlep to the city for Megillah. So schlep when everybody else schleps. Why give them a dispensation? So the Gemarah proves from this, if the whole idea was, if it started because they wanted to give food to the people in the cities, Rabbi Yehuda just with one machavek, he says, the whole thing is cancelled. No, they were going for economic purposes, but not regular routine visits for this.
Mondays and Thursdays they went for Kriyas Torah.
Or Kriyas HaTorah, Rashi says for Bezdin. Or both. But if they didn't, if there was no city near, whatever the issue was, they didn't. Zog the Gemarah, no. You're right. Let's fix this up. And it's not about the people in the cities. It's about the people in the villages. It's an interesting idea. The takana is not for the people in the villages, for somebody else. They're not a means for an end. They are the end in and of themselves. We thought they're a means for an end. I'm changing your Megillah, so I should benefit because I live in the city. He says, no, that's not pshat. It's a benefit. It's wonderful. We're happy that they get food, but that's not the issue. Because if that was the issue, then it wouldn't add up. You see how he changed it? Not in order they should give water and food. It's because they give water and food. And therefore, we want to be sensitive to their needs. We are extremely respectful and sensitive to their year-long sacrifices of schlepping around and feeding the Jewish people. And we want to make their lives comfortable, yes. They are always in a state of such a beautiful answer. They're always dedicated to their people all year around. Not that we do it so they should give food. We do it because they give food. But you see how easy it was to misunderstand Reb Chanina? He said, we do it because they give food. So everybody, the Gemarah said, what does that mean? We do it so they should have time to give food. So the Gemarah says, no, we do it because they give food all year. So we want to accommodate them as much as we can. So how do we accommodate them? By minimizing the need for another trip to the city in order to Megillah. Yeah, we want to help them. So Monday and Thursday, we say do it Monday and Thursday. If Purim is on your dalit, you're anyway coming. Fine. So I'm Purim on your dalit. If you're anyway not coming into the city, do it on your dalit. The focus is not the Jews in the city. The focus is helping them. The fact that the Jews in the city often benefit from the fact that they're off on Purim, fine. Extra credit. Nothing wrong. We're happy that other Jews benefit. Huh? It's also spiritual. It says in Svarim that just like by Hashem, you can't say Hashem is a means for an end. Hashem is not a means for an end. He is the Tachlis. Yeah. A Jew is a chelik elakami mal. There's no such a thing. One Jew is a means for another Jew. The Tachlis is always in him or her itself. Of course, through you, other people benefit. When your light is shining, other people's light also shines. But those are the things, there's a whole takana that you're redefined for somebody else. The Tachlis is in the person himself.
This answer also answers the question before.
Very good. Which question?
How you don't push it up from Monday to Wednesday or from Wednesday to Monday?
You mean from Monday to Thursday?
Thursday, sorry.
Why?
Because then you did it for them, not for the...
Because we did it for them and they're coming in anyway. Yeah. And also, why not Thursday to Monday? Yeah. And why not Thursday to Monday? Very good. Zog the Gemarah. Rashi says, you see the second Rashi, Dalam at the base. Eimem Neshem Mesapkin, Scharu Lahem Bishvil Shehein Mesapkin. Hilchach Heiche de Einich Nassen, Loi Kulu Legabayu, Vein Kan Schar. We're trying to help them. Trying to reward them. We're trying to make their lives more comfortable and luxurious. And here, they're anyway not coming in. You're not helping them. Make it Monday, Thursday for what? That's the key. Ketzat, the Gemarah continues. Now the Mishnah starts illustrating. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The Gemarah now is going to ask a fascinating question. It teaches you a lot how to think. Ketzat Chali is b'sheni b'Shabbos kvar v'yazdel is karim b'yom v'chuli the whole week. Okay. What's the question now you ask? Ma'ishna reisha the nakat sidura de yarcha or ma'ishna seifa the nakat sidura de yoyma. In the opening of the Mishnah, he follows the order of the month. In the illustration of the Mishnah, he follows the order of the week. Sidura de Yarcha means the order of the month. Yarcha is month. Yom is days. The second part of the Mishnah, he follows the order of the days and the reverse order of the month. You understand the question? I'll explain. In the opening Mishnah, He started Megillah Nikras, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Dalet, Tzvav. That's called the order of the month. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I would expect, Ketzad, you're going to illustrate. Do that illustration. Tell me, when you read it, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Dalet, Tzvav. Right? What would that mean? It would mean start off with the scenario that gives me an explanation when they do it Yud Aleph. It's not what the Mishnah does. The Mishnah starts off with Purim being Monday. And when Purim being Monday, when do they read the Megillah? Yud Dalet. The next scenario is when Yud Dalet is Tuesday. And then when do they read the Megillah? Monday, which is Yud Gimel. So you started with Yud Dalet, and then you went to Yud Gimel.
These are the days you could read. Now we'll explain to you.
Right. But it's the opposite order. Why can't the illustration follow the original order? One second. Well, let's understand it two ways. How does the illustration start? If Yudalit is Monday. If Yudalit is Monday, they read on Yudalit. Okay. If it's Tuesday, they read on Yud Gimel. If it's Wednesday, they read on Yud Beis. Okay. If it's Thursday, they read on Yudalit. If it's Friday, they read on Yud Gimel. If it's Shabbos, they read on Yud Beis. If it's Sunday, you came Yud Aleph. Frag the Gemarah, Ma'ishna reisha de naket sedura de yarcha, or Ma'ishna seifa de naket sedura de yoyma. In the opening, you follow the days of the month, Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Gimel, Dalet, Tzvav. In the seifa, you follow the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, Sunday. Even though, what do I care? I have nothing against the week. But actually, it reverses the previous order. Because you start with Yud Dalet, you go to Yud Gimel, you go to Yud Beis, right? You go again to Yud Dalet, you go to Yud Gimel, you go to Yud Beis, and the last one is Yud Aleph. And actually, it gets even worse, because if you would have started with Sunday, it would have been wonderful. You would have had Yud Aleph right away. You could have started with Sunday, which is the first day of the week. No, you don't start Sunday. You start Monday, which means it's not just you're doing the reverse order. You're also not starting with the week. You're cutting the week. You're starting Monday. So in America, we know you start with Monday because Sunday is Sunday. But it's not America. Sunday is work. Monday, I know. Huh? Sunday. If your dollar is Sunday, so you read it Yud Aleph. Yeah. I'm just adding in the kasha. First of all, you start here in the order of the month, and then you do the order of the week, and the month gets reversed. You go Yud Dalet, Yud Gimel, Yud Beis, Now, I wouldn't have a problem if the Mishnah would have done that. Megillah Nikras, yeah? B'Tesvav, B'Yud Dalet, B'Yud Gimel, B'Yud Beis, B'Yud Aleph. That's the question of the Gemarah. So the Gemarah says, there's a reason for this. There's a rhythm. The rhythm is you have to know how people's brains work. You have to know how people's brains work. And that's the Mishnah wrote, understanding what we would call the neurological design of the brain. If you're going to do the illustration based on the months, what's going to happen is the days of the week are going to have to become topsy-turvy and go in an opposite order, as we'll see, and you would get confused. Nakat sidura deyoyma. It was much better to follow the week in order. Meaning, if I wanted to follow the original order, what would the Mishnah look like? This is what we'll have to say. If your Dalet is on Sunday, you read the Megillah on Thursday, which is Yud Aleph. Okay, now I have to get to Yud Beis. When do you read the Megillah on Yud Beis? Yeah? So for that, Purim has to be Shabbos. So I said, if it's Shabbos, you read it on Thursday. That's Yud Beis. Now I have to get to Yud Gimel. If it's Friday, you read it on Thursday, which is Yud Gimel. If it's Thursday, you read it on Yud Dalet. So basically, the Mishnah would be Sunday, Yud Aleph, right? Shabbos, Yud Beis. Friday, Yud Gimel. And Thursday, Yud Dalet. And the brain...
You also need to add 2 days.
Huh?
The Bayis has 2 days. Gimel has 2 days.
What?
You need to mix up the week.
It's not bad. Not bad. No considered the yom. A person would get confused, and it also gets more complicated because Yud Aleph is Sunday, Yud Beis is Shabbos, but Yud Beis is also one more situation when, right, Wednesday. But let's say you'll do that afterwards, but you're going backwards. So that's why the Tana wanted to do the days of the week in order, and that's why the second time around in illustration he doesn't mention the days of the months, because if he would, you would get confused that way because it goes backwards. Because Monday, you read it Yud Dalet, right? If Purim is Tuesday, you read it Yud Gimel. If Purim is Wednesday, you read it Yud Beis. If Purim is Sunday, you read it Yud Aleph. So now you're going backwards in the month. So that's why in the beginning he says Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Dal Tesvav. Then he follows the order of the week. So it should so that your brains love symmetry, order, organization, structure. Not going backwards. And therefore, in the second illustration, he doesn't mention the month. You'll figure out the month. He says, if Purim is Monday, you read it by Bayom. If Yudalit is Tuesday, you read it Monday. If Yudalit is Wednesday, right, you read it Monday. If Yudalit is Thursday, you read it Thursday. If Yudalit is Friday, you read it. You'll already figure out the day of the month. He won't mention it because he doesn't want to confuse you. That's what the Gemarah answers. In other words, let's just understand a little bit. Let's just understand what he's saying. If he would have done the months, if in the illustration he would mention days, if in the illustration he would follow the order of the month, meaning Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Al Tesvav, he would have to mention the day of the week and the day of the month, right? He would have to say, how would I have to say? He would have to say that, how would it start? It would start, Purim is on Sunday, right? And then you're reading Yud Aleph. Now the days of the week would go opposite, so it would confuse him. Now that you follow the order of the week, you don't have to mention the days of the month, because you're just following the order of the week. If you wouldn't follow the order of the week, you would have to mention the days of the month, right? Because you're doing Sunday is Yud Aleph, okay? And no, and then you want to go Yud Beis, so you can't go to Monday, so you have to go to Shabbos. Shabbos is Yud Beis. So now you're going the opposite way. So therefore, now he just follows the week, and he says, Magdimin L'Yom HaKnisa, you read it that day, you read it the next day. Yeah. If it's Friday, it's Yom. Now you can ask a simple question, why don't you start with Sunday, though? If you want to do the days of the week, start Sunday. Why doesn't he start the week with Sunday? The Mishnah doesn't start with Sunday. You just said you want the order of the week. I got it. So start with Sunday. Why? And especially, it's good to start with Sunday, because then you get your Aleph first. It's the good. The reason for this, the Ritva says, is very nice. If you would start with Sunday, the days of the month would come out completely confused. If your Dalet is Sunday, so when do they read the Megillah? On your Aleph. If your Dalet is Monday, when they read Megillah, your Dalet. So you skipped from your Aleph to your Dalet. If it's Tuesday, you read it on Yud Gimel. So you went from Yud Aleph to Yud Dalet to Yud Gimel. And if it's Wednesday, you read it on Yud Beis. In this case, however, when you start with Monday, he doesn't mention the month, but at least it's not in a confusing order. It's just in an opposite order. You understand? Monday is Yud Dalet, Tuesday is Yud Gimel, Wednesday is Yud Beis, Thursday is Yud Dalet, Friday is Yud Gimel, Shabbos is Yud Beis, Sunday is Yud Aleph. It's not confusing. It's organized, it's just in the opposite order. So he doesn't mention it. But if you would start with Sunday, the days of the month would be Yud Aleph, Yud Daled, Yud Gimel, Yud Beis. And that's why the Ritva says he does not do that. So this is interesting because, we learned before about, the Yud, how Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey. When you teach, you have to always think how it's going to be received. Not what you want to say, but how it's going to be received. People speak to their children, people speak to their students, people speak to their spouse. It's not about what you say. And it's what they hear and how they hear it and how they retain, how they absorb it. We don't focus on this so much. This is considered a modern discipline. But here you see the Gemarah says the Mishnah actually reverses the order and goes the opposite order. Why? So that the week should be able to be consistent. Because if not, it's going to be in the opposite order, and the way it's absorbed is just, I'm confused. I just get confused if I would start with the month of Yud Aleph, because it would be Sunday, and then Shabbos, and then it's hard. Now it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you could make the cheshbon yourself. The Mishnah doesn't say the days of the month. That's the point, because it doesn't want to confuse you at all. It shifts. Huh? Right. You'll figure out which day, because he wants it should have that rhythm, that consistency. Take a look in Rashi. Let's see Rashi. It's a beautiful Rashi. Sidra de Yarcha. Sidra de Yarcha means the order of the month. Diktani Yud Aleph Yud Beis Yud Gimel Yud Al Tasvav Kasei de Minyan HaChodesh. Great. Kshabala Farsha, when you come to illustrate, Nakat Seder Yemei HaShabbos, the week. V'Shamin Yemei HaChodesh La'Chareha. Kshabala Farsha, when you come to, what does he mean La'Chareha? No, I understand. I'm just wondering. Okay, Kshabala Farsha, when you come to explain it, Nakat, right, Seder Yemei HaShabbos, V'Shamin Yemei HaChodesh La'Chareha. And then the days of the month, right, are going backwards, like they're going from Achar, they're going from the back to the front. Why? Because Chol Liyas Erev Shabbos, when Yudalit is Friday, Kfarim Magdim Aliyah Maknissa. So Kfarim Magdim Aliyah Maknissa, Harei Yud Gimel. Chol Liyas B'Shabbos, Harei Yud Beis. Chol Liyas Achar Shabbos, Kfarim Magdim Aliyah Maknissa, Harei Yud Aleph. In other words, you're following the week, you're giving me Friday, Shabbos, and Sunday, but the days of the month are now backwards. Because when you start Friday, when you go Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, so Friday is Yud Gimel, Shabbos is Yud Beis, which is backwards, and Sunday is Yud Aleph. That's the question of the Gemarah. So Rashi answers, Keloimar, Al Yidei Shimoya Oiches Yemei HaShabbos Lefi Seder Yemei HaChodesh. If you wanted to follow create the order of the week based on the order of the month, in other words, I need here an illustration of the week, because we want to go through the week. We want people to understand it, right? That's the point. We want to explain it through the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And if you would demand consistency, because you're consistent, so you would follow, you wanted that the illustration of the week should also be inconsistent with the order of the month. The days of the week are going to have to be reversed for you. And the man who's learning and memorizing the Mishnah may make a mistake because he's going to have to remember it and mention it backwards. Meaning, Achar HaShabbos Dahainu Yud Aleph. Purim is Sunday, so then you read Yud Aleph. Shabbos, if Purim is Shabbos, that's how we would have to do it. And to recall information in the backward order is much more difficult and gives more room. You're more prone to error. Shabbos is Yud Beis, Erev Shabbos is Gimel, Umitoich Kach. And because of that, he may skip, he may miss one, and he may error. Because like after Sunday, we're used to Monday. After Monday, we're used to Tuesday, not Sunday, Shabbos, Friday, Thursday. So he keeps it in the order of the week. Are you confusing me because you're doing the month opposite? Same problem. You're starting Friday. So if you do Friday, it's Yud Gimel, and Shabbos is Yud Beis, and Sunday is Yud. Same problem. I'm not used to Yud Gimel, Yud Beis, Yud Aleph. I'm used to Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Yud Gimel. He doesn't mention it with his mouth, meaning in the illustration, he doesn't mention the day of the month, right? He says, if Purim is on Shabbos, you read on Thursday. If Purim is on Sunday, you read on Thursday. If Purim is on Monday, you read on Monday. That's fine. He doesn't mention that. You figure it out. If you say that if Purim is on Sunday, you read on Thursday, right? So we know what that means. We understand that Thursday is Yud Aleph. If Purim was on Shabbos, you read on Thursday. Yeah, we know that. That is Yud Beis. And if Purim was on Friday, you read on Thursday. That's Yud Gimel. I get that. But ve'ein kan oitos. But you're not going to error because in your mouth, in your explicit mention, you're not following that order. That's what Rashi explains in the Gemarah. And we answered a moment ago why the Ritva says why we don't start on Sunday, why we start on Monday, because then your month becomes confused even non-explicitly. Here, the month is backwards, but it's not. It's still not explicit. But to be confused in the month, that's going to create much more disarray. The next year will be Monday. We'll resume Monday, okay? Because I'm away for Shabbos. What did you ask? What should Rashi say? Which Rashi? That's how the Mishnah. What should Rashi? Megillah Nikras. Biyud Aleph, he's quoting the Mishnah. Was willst du? Huh? Listen, we live in the internet age. People used to work from sunrise till nightfall every single day. We all appreciate Shabbos, but we don't appreciate Shabbos the way they appreciated Shabbos. I'm just telling you. I'm saying people are still stressed, but our stress today is internal much more. The anxiety. Not that people don't work hard. They work hard, but you can't compare the time that we have. No one even understands what that means. Right? Why is there no summer? Why is there summer vacation in America for 2 months, 3 months? July and August. Why are we off? Why is everybody off? Why is there no school? There was only one reason for it. Most kids in the 1800s, to walk to school, you walked a few miles. You walk to school. You stand there, you walked a few miles back. Yeah, tell that to your kid today. And in the summer months, no, the issue wasn't the heat. The issue was the farms needed tremendous amount of care. Harvest, or planting, or toiling, and your kids couldn't go to school. They had to all be in the farm. That's the reason. July and August, you were in the farm from morning till night. That's the reason. So there's no school. Nobody knows that anymore.
Now they have to get summer jobs.
Huh? No, I'm out of town. Monday.
Now Israel has 3 weeks vacation.
It's a madna minhag that basically because of the farm, there's no school anymore.
Yeah, but a lot of things go out to the farmers.
I'm just explaining things.
Everyone was a farmer.
We're taking off a day, we're taking off 2 days, we're going here for 3 days, we're going here. I'm saying that concept. I'm just explaining to you. So they were extremely sensitive to the work days. You have in brachas. In brachas, they say about different things. If you work for somebody and you're on top of a tree, right?
You can't come down.
All those things. So you're right, because you're working for them. And,
I want to thank you so much for your Gevante Torah.
Tzeichem l'shalom. We hope to follow you very soon. The Sunday Slakabitz Goli Yesena.
I repeated, my house is open to you.
Thank you.
Family.
Thank you.
And it would be
Thank you. I appreciate it.
love
Thank
to have
you.
come.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll show you.
Far gesund heitem Surus Taivas. Okay. Keep in touch virtually.
I will, but it's not the same.
That's true.
Thank you so much.
Going to Eretz Yisrael. He's going to the Krachim Hamakafim Chaim and Monsey Yeshua ben Nun. He doesn't want to read the Megillah on Yudalit. He wants to read it on Tesvav.
This class is brought to you by theyeshiva.net. Please help us continue the classes. Make even a small contribution at www.theyeshiva.net/donate.